God's chosen people, the Israelites, are called to be holy. God's chosen people, the Israelites, are called to live lives of holiness, reflecting God's own nature. This holiness is a central part of their identity, rooted in the covenant relationship that God established exclusively with them. This call to holiness requires that Israel be set apart from other nations, living in purity and obedience as God's treasured possession. 1. God commands his Israelite people to be holy. 1 Peter 1:15-16. But as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct, since it is written, "You shall be holy, for I am holy." Peter draws from Israel's scriptures, reminding Israelite believers that their calling is to reflect God's holiness in every aspect of their conduct. This command is not simply a moral guideline, it is a reflection of God's covenant with Israel, who are to embody his holiness as his people. Their set-apart lifestyle is a testament to the nations, emphasizing their unique relationship with God. 2. Holiness in the covenant law of Israel. Leviticus 11:44-45. For I am the Lord your God. Consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am holy. You shall not defile yourselves, for I am the Lord who brought you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. You shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. In this passage, God calls Israel to consecrate themselves, connecting their holiness directly to his act of deliverance from Egypt. God's deliverance established them as his own people, and his holiness is to be the standard for their lives. As Israelites abstain from defilement, they fulfill their role as a consecrated nation chosen by God. Leviticus 19:2. Speak to all the congregation of the people of Israel and say to them, "You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." God's call here addresses the whole congregation of Israel, reinforcing that holiness is not limited to priests, but is a calling for every Israelite. Each individual's pursuit of holiness contributes to the sanctity of the entire nation, underscoring their collective identity as God's holy people. Leviticus 27. Consecrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. In this command, God reiterates that Israel's consecration is a response to his holiness. This distinct identity as a holy nation sets Israel apart from other peoples and reflects the covenant relationship they have with God. 3. Holiness in the teachings of Jesus in the New Testament. Matthew 5:48. You therefore must be perfect, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Jesus calls Israel to mirror God's perfection, building on the Old Testament call to holiness. His teachings reflect the same covenantal expectation that Israelites should live in a way that honors God's character and sets them apart from the surrounding nations. 1 Thessalonians 4:7. For God has not called us for impurity, but in holiness. Paul reminds Israelite believers that God's call on their lives is a call to purity and holiness. As descendants of Abraham, they are not to follow the ways of impurity, but are called to live distinct, set-apart lives in line with God's nature and will. 1 John 3:3. And everyone who thus hopes in him purifies himself as he is pure. John highlights that the hope Israelite believers have in God leads them to pursue purity. This purification is part of their calling as a holy nation, awaiting the fulfillment of God's promises. Their pursuit of holiness not only reflects God's character, but also prepares them for their future inheritance. In sum, God's call for his Israelite people to be holy is foundational to their covenant relationship. Their holiness reflects God's own nature, setting them apart as his exclusive possession and fulfilling their role as his chosen people among the nations.